Hey everybody, this is Chewy Plays Nintendo, and today I wanted to talk to you guys. Actually, before I forget, later today I will be playing through the Splatoon 2, I guess, test fire. I'm not joining in on the first session, which is going on while I'm at work, but later in the night I will be playing. I probably will not live stream, but I will record and then kind of share my thoughts. I wanted to try a bunch of different weapons and things, and yeah, so that was real quick. But anyways, today actually marks 3 weeks since the Nintendo Switch's release, and in those 3 weeks, I feel like I've gotten to do a lot of the things that the Nintendo Switch was pushing. So first week, I was just kind of familiarizing myself with it. Like, I opened up the box and my first thought was like, oh my gosh, these Joy-Cons are tiny. I was pretty astounded by just how small they looked in person, and so yeah, that just blew me away. And then I saw the Switch and I was like, huh, it's a little bit thicker than I expected, but I think I'll get used to that pretty quickly. And so the first night I played, I picked it up at midnight at GameStop, so I got a little bit I spent a little time playing with it the first night, but only got like probably an hour of playtime at all. And then anyway, so just like my first immediate impressions were just like, this is pretty small. I'm surprised. And then the Joy-Cons did feel a little weird to me at first, but now that I've played 3 weeks later, I love them. I've played them in pretty much every variation. I think the only variation I'm not too fond of is just having the Joy-Cons separately, like no controller or anything. I think I have bigger hands. I think for people with bigger hands, this might not be the most comfortable way to play. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. I like it in the Joy-Con grip. I like it in handheld mode, and I do like them sideways, just playing like with a single Joy-Con as your controller. So far, yeah, I've liked the Joy-Con controllers. On my Twitter, I posted a little comparison on button size compared to the 3DS, just because if you guys don't have the Switch yet, I would say I have a new 3DS XL. The buttons, even the like size of the joystick, very similar to that size. Of course, the joystick isn't just like a little slide type of thing like the 3DS. You actually get a stick. So it's small though. Just a note. Like, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you are, it's like, yeah, that's the system. It feels great after a while, and it's awesome. So yeah, the first week, even to this day, I'm mostly playing Zelda. I played a lot of snipper clips. I have Bomberman. I've played online a couple times, but I haven't started the story mode at all. I've tried a couple times, and then I was like, I don't know. I had to do something. Couldn't get through the whole little cutscene and everything. Which was surprisingly long, but anyways, yeah, those are the games that I've been playing. Those are the only 3 games I own right now. I kind of have a list. I'll go into my list of games that I'm looking forward to later, but for now, I'll just talk about these. So then, after the first week, I went on a trip, and I went to Texas on a plane, and this is like the time to try out the Switch. I packed the dock and everything to take it to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's place in Texas. I went with my wife, so this trip was actually scheduled a while ago. But I felt like this was an exciting time because I could finally try the Switch just strictly on the go. And so the first part of the plane ride, I spent about half of it playing Zelda, and that was cool. I mean, I was just traveling around and thinking, man, it's so cool how I can play this game. And then my wife, she was reading because she's a writer and is in school right now, so she has a lot to read. But anyways, she was like, hey, I'll play with you. So I just went to the home screen, saved my game, went to the home screen, and just put on snipper clips. And from there, we put it in tabletop mode on the plane, and it was great. we had I don't know if other people around us were annoyed by us just like going, oh no, do this, turn this way, I need to cut you this way to do things. But it's a very interactive game. Like, it gets you talking with other people, and really it's so collaborative. And just the fact that we could play it on the plane together and have our headphones plugged in and just be zoned out into that little world. And it was like we weren't even on a plane. We were just at home sitting around. So, so I've played it. I played the Switch on the go, and I liked it a lot. In Texas, we hooked it up to the dock whenever they were watching YouTube or something, and I was just like, no, I just want to play Zelda. You guys can do your thing. I'm going to play this game. I would just play on handheld mode, but they had a really big TV there, so I liked playing on that big TV. My brother-in-law really liked, I guess, watching me play Zelda. He was pretty interested. I asked him if he wanted to start a file, but he seemed like, no, you're kind of already into it. You know what you're doing, know what you're trying to get to. So he had a good time watching me play through Zelda. And then outside of that, like, we played Snipper Clips with our family, and that game is a blast. Like, people are really digging it, and it's such an easy game to pick up, and the concept is just like crystal clear. You're like, oh, I can cut things, and you can be shapes, and then I solve these puzzles. And so it makes a lot of sense. It's really easy to pick up, so easy to just share the joy and get other people playing with you. So they really like that. The other game I played with my brother-in-law, we played Bomberman, and we cannot, I don't know what there is with the settings on that game, but we could not beat the computer players, and so eventually we just turned them off and fought each other, and we were still having a really good time. That game it's the bomb for like multiplayer, just fun craziness. And so yeah, I've played a lot of Bomberman in the past, but I'm pretty rusty. I've noticed it's been a long time since a game has been out, so I'm not too great anymore. But we had a good time playing just like the multiplayer mode and blowing each other up. So overall, just like my experiences traveling, like the games on the Switch right now are pretty appealing, I would say. Like, it's so easy to share the joy and just play Snipper Clips with somebody and have a good time. So I'm loving what's the word for it? Multiplayer, when you're all in the same place. For some reason, I'm drawing a blank, but just the multiplayer aspects of the games have been a lot of fun. And even just playing through Zelda, like, it's a very interesting game, and I think it captures people very well. I mean, obviously, it's gotten all these great reviews and definitely deserving of them. But yeah, so that was my experience kind of traveling with the Switch. Other than that, I've played it in pretty much every mode. I've done handheld, I've done tabletop, I've done TV, I've done everything that you can do with the Switch, and it just feels really natural. Like, you don't have to think about it. You just set it up and play the way you want to play, and it's been a great experience. And yeah, I definitely am loving the Switch. I'm so excited to see more games come out. Of course, I'm going to be a little bit more strict with myself on games these days. I want to beat more of them before I build up a huge backlog of games that I'm never going to beat. So it's strictly because I'm too distracted playing too many games. So it's hard to find the time sometimes, but yeah, that's my, I guess, kind of experience with the Switch. I guess to close off, I'll tell you guys, I think my favorite way to play it so far has been handheld mode with my headphones in. It really works with Zelda. And I'm surprised, I'm actually like kind of surprised that this was my favorite way to play. But I think just with Zelda in particular, the sounds that you get out of the game feel so right when you're just plugged into headphones. You're completely glued to this tiny screen. I mean, it's not too small. I've played Xenoblade Chronicles on the 3DS, so it's an improvement from that for sure. But anyways, just like being glued into that screen, having this close, intimate, I guess, piece of technology just right with you, and then having those sounds from the Zelda game, oh, it feels so right. But anyways, yeah, this is Chewy Plays Nintendo. This has been my 3-week experience with the Switch. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And next time, we'll see some Splatoon footage. Thank you guys. Bye!